What's going on, guys? I just wanted to share this with you real quick. What's going on with Edit right now? So this is going to be a play that if you're not in it for long term, or if you're not in it at all, this is going to be the setup here. Because look at this fucking thing. Look at how beautiful this is working out. Oh my God, I've never seen something so pretty in my life. So this right here is obviously the left shoulder. This could be the head. And as we continue to correct here, we are creating this right shoulder. Now, of course, the right shoulder, it can still drop again and come down here and build it this way, right? It doesn't have to just be right here and explode. It can line up with this left shoulder here. So, we don't want to get too excited yet. You could look at it in a couple different ways. You could look at it as a cup and handle, but I think that the inverse head and shoulder idea is way, way more clear here. So, we know that we have a lot of support at 42.20. And my downside target originally was 44.35. And we hit 44. On the brokerage account that I'm on, we hit 44.34. This isn't actually showing it. Now, of course, there's potential of this rolling over and, causing us to drop further. And, we can look at some bearish potentials too, as well as that, as we can look at, this could be a small little bear flag or something like that, right? So we don't want to get too overly excited yet, because, if this was a bear flag and it breaks down negatively, you could have a pretty sizable downside here, okay? And it could go all the way down to 42.50. And 42.50 is roughly this left shoulder, 42.36. That's that wick, okay? So we still want to consider that idea there. Excuse me. But if we continue to hold this level here and we break out of any of this potential area here, and we ignore this downside right here, and we could do that. We could call this here we'll say another falling channel or falling wedge here. I guess we would go from this wick to here and ignore that little bit of a breakdown there from the little bit of panic selling caused some extra dippage, right? Extra dippage to be bought, which is fine. Same thing that happened over here. We got some extra dippage out of this potential shoulder. So we could continue to follow this potential line here, which is why I lined it up on this wick, assuming that we might bounce off of 45.66, come up 46.15, come down 45.86 and break, or we could break here, come back down, continue to test this line if that's going to be of confluence here. But, if you're playing from a position of strength, then getting a buy maybe down in the 42s wouldn't be a bad spot. If you're not in this yet, the best scenario here to buy from would be wait for some confirmation of some type of real holding on this 48.40 level, because that is the neckline here. And you can see that we've wicked above it a bunch of times here, right? This neckline, we've wicked above it, but we haven't actually found any type of close, any type of support on this line. Now, we did back here when we dropped down, we stayed above it, but when we broke that line there, we came all the way down, double bottomed here on this 43.48. We came up, caught resistance once again. So you know how powerful that area of support is, or resistance, I should say, and how powerful of support it can become if we catch support on it. And if we looked in the past here, we broke this same area here that we're having a hard time coming above. We broke this area. We ran up. We came down. We back tested as support. You enter there. And we fucking ran. Okay, we fucking ran and ran and ran and ran. So, that being said, this here, and of course this could have been a left shoulder, a head, a right shoulder as well, right? But obviously we had some market action here that, delayed the potential of this thing running to where it should be priced at, in my opinion. Okay, so this is where we ended up, and this is what we look to be building here. So I want to keep this on the radar. Doesn't mean it's going to shoot up tomorrow, and there's still potential of this thing coming down further. This could not be the end of the shoulder here, but it does look pretty good right now. There's a couple different things that could happen here. This could be a left shoulder ahead. We could come up to make the right shoulder before plummeting down to that 42.50 area still. So that's not out of the question. Or this could be some type of W here. Of course, we wouldn't come that high on the RSI here, but that could be some type of W forming. But needless to say, whether we come down to this 42.50, we come down to this 43.70 area I'm talking about, or we continue to ride in this shoulder that's being created here, inevitably the target will always be the same, of 57.14, and that is just out of this inverse head and shoulders. This isn't even the target that we have of this falling channel that we've been waiting to break out of. Because if we go off of this here, okay, and we bring it down to where we got resistance, which is perfectly at that 48.40 level, and we delete that bottom support line there, and we take a look at, let me go to an hourly because I'm having a hard time getting through here. Okay, well, actually an hourly right there, and we take our measurements from these wicks here, and we follow them down and see what do we have going on here. We can clearly see how close we are to breaking this very, very big falling wedge. We are just trying to get some momentum here to break it. So it may look to you like this thing is having a hard time getting above this level, and it makes perfect sense why it is. But in my opinion, we are just gearing up as we reset our RSI. We're consolidating, bringing all our RSI back to normal levels here, right? Because it's hard to do a big run when you're up in this range. Same with the 4 hour. We're not very high up, and you can see we got a little rejection there. Where did we get rejection? Well, let's take a look. If we draw this, we line up where we are. This is a wick. What are we doing right now? Well, on the RSI here, when we got that big move, the RSI broke that falling wedge. The RSI broke this beautiful falling wedge, and we got a beautiful run And now we're coming back down as a potential back test of that falling wedge. On the chart here, we could draw it a couple different ways. Okay, we could do this, and we could say, all right, we don't have this falling wedge in the right place, and we could say that, if I could get it, that this is the falling wedge here from this wick, and we can grab this here. If I could get it to work here. Okay, we could say that this was the falling wedge here as well. This is another way to look at it. And that was our resistance. And we broke this falling wedge here, right? Just like the RSI is showing. We broke this falling wedge. And this falling wedge measure move, excuse me, is from the breakout, this falling wedge target, $63. We're just finding some, normal resistance up in this $48 level. But we're consolidating as we continue to head up to our target, because we don't just go straight up. Sometimes you do when you have a 3-year consolidation pattern like it did over here. You can go straight up. But this time it's going to be different, because we're not just going to shoot straight up this time. And prior, there was no price action up in this range before. So it was able to go right up with no resistance. But what happens is once you come up and then you come back down, now you have prior resistance and prior support that you have to worry about, because it's built a little bit of structure since then. Okay, so we know we have resistance up here at $199. We know we have resistance at all of these levels here, $83, and all of these other wicks on the way up. So it's going to take a little bit longer this time to get up. But by us doing this, the longer we stay in significant areas here, the more structure that gets built, and the stronger it flips that old potential resistance into newfound support. And that is what I feel we are doing right now. We are slowly building this beautiful inverse head and shoulders here as we continue to work our way up to where this thing is supposed to be. Way up here. Easily way up here. Easily way up here. And this will be where we'll have to worry about when we get there. Whether it takes a year, whether it takes 6 months. This is where we're going to be. And we need to finish what we started, which is probably what was being created here, which is a beautiful pennant that fell out due to the market correction. But it will eventually get back in here before inevitably breaking out of this and becoming the price that it should be qualified as. And if you knew about what this company was, you would agree with me. And although it's not that well known, this is where the price will be. Somewhere in this area once it gets back to where it needs to be. So I want to put that on the radar, why I make so many videos on this thing. But this company is based off of the CRISPR gene editing company, like CRISPR stock that's worth $150 easily as well. This thing is a company that can take a newborn child that comes out of the womb, or is 5-6 years old, whatever, and comes out blind. And they have a technology that, and I'm not sure exactly how the technology works, you'd have to look into it. A technology that, whether it's a dose, whether it's something of that sort, that can make that kid be able to see again and make him not blind. So it's a cure for blindness here in younglings, I guess you could call them younglings. So and young kids. So this thing might have got hit hard here, but it's going to work its way back, and it will be back to where it needs to be. So this right now is an excellent buying opportunity. Obviously short term, if you bought here, you might be down a little bit, but I would just continue to hold and average into your position, because this thing is going somewhere. And I don't even know if it's FDA approved yet, but it has proven results on many, many different things. And if you look into the company, you will see that. But that's all I got for you on this video. I'm so bullish on this company, and I'm very, very long on here. So, and I'll add more to my position once we break this level. So keep that in mind. You know, we're having a little bit of downside here. We got this little death cross coming in here, and you know, a few things, but as we slowly roll up here on this 20 EMA, things are going to be looking very, very good. So that's all I got. If you like this, hit the like button. If you believe in this company, hit the like button. And if you just want to help me out, hit the like button. Peace.